Why isn't it working? It better be working. Ah, there she is. There she is. Oh boy. Okay. At everyone live. Okay. There she is. And here. Boom. 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 Okay. Damn. It's been a minute. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Oh my gosh. How did you guys do today, trading wise? Did you guys all have a good day? Or what? Let's see if I can get this first try. Oh! Bingo! That was the first sugar toss. Oh, Toronto, how we doing, Brody? 13R this week. Good for you. Let's talk about today's delivery. I hope you guys didn't get eaten up this week from how the previous 2 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, were with Powell. Powell was doggy. So buns. Oh yeah, no, we took gold this morning too. That was an absolute beautiful trade, like not a textbook. I can go over that one first. Actually, that was like really nice compared to. Actually, let's clear these out. Let's clear this out. Clear out all the drawings, and then let's go to right here. And let's kind of go over this for the people in the back. Kieran took a beautiful trade this morning. Like really nice one. Took a really nice trade. But let's do a little recap as to what we had here today. So, starting off, we had price trading within a daily bearish fair value gap on gold. And that daily gap had an SMT within it. So like that's a step 1 and a step 2 of the model, as you guys already know. Now, we had silver already clearing this high, so this was the first initial SMT on that daily. If you go to the hourly chart, I could even drag this down a little lower just to make it more clean. This is that first stage of SMT that we have set in here. Now, going into New York session, there was high impact news at 8:30. Now, high impact news, you want to wait for that to come about to then understand what could price do next. Are we going to manipulate again, or is the news driver going to be the continuation in the anticipation direction of price going lower? And the eyes were drawn down to these relative equal lows here. Now, we're going to skip the next hourly candle, which is what came in for the news release. Now, if I go down to the hourly chart on both silver and gold, pay attention closely within this. Now, I have a YouTube video coming out tomorrow, and it's understanding like key aspects of time. Time is very important when it comes to trading. It's always time before price. So in regards to this, we had an hourly gap framed and traded into during the New York AM session. So what we wanted to see at the news release was an SMT created again for a second stage. So we had an SMT created here, a lower low on silver, and a higher low set in on gold, resting right here. So we had an SMT set in again from an hourly perspective when we already had it set in on the daily. So we have the daily SMT, the hourly SMT. Now what I want to do here is I want to look for an execution or what to do or how to capitalize on price within the wick here. So I'm looking for something after 8:30 or like after that 8:30 news hits. So our driver was right here. And as you can see, that hourly SMT was set in right here and cleared resting liquidity, a short-term high. This resting high here. So we had this SMT set in, but we also had a up close candle here that cleared this short-term high. Then we closed directly below it. But we also had a up close candle here that ran this short-term high as well. So we had two order blocks that was utilized for POIs for shorting. Now you could have easily executed here for a short on gold, put your stop loss either, if you wanted to be aggressive, your stop loss would go at the candle high here, or if you wanted to be more conservative, you would have put your stop loss relatively higher to cover that second candle that cleared the short-term high. And then you just look to target a 1 to 2, or you target the resting lows from what we were talking about down here, these relative equals. And the delivery was pristine. We came back up, tapped that order block, traded lower, and then eventually went down and took out those lows. This was a textbook market maker sell model, if you ask me. Do you guys kind of get the top-down analysis from that trade? Like, did that make sense? Ugh. Did that make sense to you guys? And then I'm going to go over indices too. And I have a YouTube video. My YouTube video tomorrow is probably one of my best videos that's going to be out. It's going to be going over kind of the same stuff, incorporating time with the 2 stages of SMT. No, I would not have taken the 7 a.m. because I will only take trades past 8 o'clock. And a majority of the time, it's not before 8:30. I always want to see what happens. Like a majority of my trades will always be after 8:30. Even the 1 hour, the daily to the 1 hour is even good too. That's fine. Like you could have even shorted here. You could have even shorted right here. From this, like if I clear this all out, this would have been fine too. Your stop loss would have just been relatively higher. Like if you just took the daily to the 1 hour, we sweep a short-term high here, then boom, you short there. That's it. Like literally easy peasy. Does that kind of make sense to you guys? And like even if I hope you guys have like the indicator. The indicator plotted it too. And also FYI, if you guys have the indicator, we have a massive update coming out soon in regards to new ads to what we're going to be offering and how we're going to be deriving price from forever model entries. So sweep short-term high here, close below it on this down close candle. The news candle comes up, tags it 1 to 2. This is the external target. Boom, ran. Super clean. Can you show the entry? Oh yeah, the entry on the lower time frame was that 5 minute. Was the 5 minute, right? We had the SMT here, which was in that hourly gap there. We had a short-term low, or we had a short-term high that was ran by this up close candle. You execute short here when we close below it, tag it, target 1 to 2, and the external target right down here. That was pretty much the execution there. And tomorrow's video will clear up that second stage of SMT as well. Happy to hear that, Jasmine. Alex, do you trade past? And I know you've been absolutely killing it too, especially in hard price conditions. Do I trade past? What is this? Past 9:30? It's dependent on news. It's all really dependent on news. Let me say that. So you want to wait to see where is the manipulation occurring in the market. Is the manipulation occurring like at 8:30, at 9:30, or is it waiting to happen at 10 o'clock? Once you have clear identification of price displacing lower, creating SMT, then you want to be capitalizing on a trade after that. That's all you need to be focusing on. Nothing, like, it's really not rocket science. You just need to be patient enough to wait. And if you can wait, then you'll be able to see the setups a lot more clearly. It's not that hard. The only thing that's making it hard is yourself, because you're just trying to force setups and play scenarios out when they're not actually there. That's the biggest root to your problems, if I'm being completely honest with you. One second. All right. Where are you guys? Here. I'm happy to hear that. God bless. The model and the entire approach is super easy. It's only hard if you make it hard on yourself. AKA not following rules, not staying within your daily limitations, your weekly limitations. The only reason why you're failing in your trading is because of your own flaws that you're just not able to keep yourself in check. Yeah, I mean, if there is, let's say, I want to wait for, let's say, if there's a news event at 10 o'clock, and let's say that, here, actually, I can go back and give an example here. Let's go back to, what day was it? It was on indices, I believe. Was it Monday? I think it was Monday. Let's go back to Monday. There was a 9:45 news event, I believe, from NQ. Yeah, there was a 9:45 news event on Monday. And let's go and look at this, just to give you an example as to you can execute before news. It's just dependent on, like I said before, it's all based off of, is the manipulation occurring prior? Is the SMT set in prior to the news event? If there hasn't been manipulation prior to news, the news will be the manipulation. Vig, am I right? I thought that I would run it back. But anyways, 9:45 news there was on that Monday. So let's kind of go over what was happening here. There was an hourly gap that was tagged on the NASDAQ here, and there was the everything was corresponding here. Now let's go to the next hourly candle, because we had no manipulation. Boom. 9 o'clock comes in here. This is the time when we had 9:30 and the 9:45 news. So we had no manipulation. We had no SMT prior to this equities open and the news. So I wanted to wait to see what would happen after that. And as you can see, when that new hourly candle came in, we had an SMT created inside of an hourly gap. The draw on liquidity following that was just London highs. Now we had a higher low on both the Dow and the S&P 500. So we're going to look to see what is going on inside of here for us to then see if we can capitalize on an execution. Now let's mark off both these. Let's go back. This was the candle that created that hourly SMT. Right here. Right at 9:30. And the news event was at 9:45. If 9:30 offers a manipulation lower, why would I anticipate, or if 9:30 offers manipulation and creates SMT, why would I anticipate news at 9:45 also to manipulate and reverse? That just does not happen. We already cleared liquidity. We already created our SMT. We don't need to see price run lower again. So the London highs was the draw. If I go like this, clear this off. Let me add the indicator just so you guys can see even better. Boom, boom, bullish. Skip a couple 5-minute candles. Close above aggressively on the S&P 500. About to close above here on the NASDAQ. And we have the indicator plot the execution. 9:45 comes in, drives higher. Manipulation occurs at 9:30. The driver is the news. News drives higher. This is our external range liquidity. As you can see, price clears it. Just like that. You don't need to wait for news to take a trade. You could take the trade before. If people are telling you to always wait before news, they don't know what they're talking about. You can execute prior to news. The only news that you want to not execute prior to, that I would say is wait for, is CPI and then NFP. And FOMC, don't even bother touching that. But all you need to do is wait for a side to be swept out, an SMT to be created, and then you can go in and attack once you see a nice displacement in the opposing direction. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. The only reason why you're making it hard is because you're impatient. That's literally it. I'll tell you that right now. Super simplistic process. Let's go to the next day. Let's go to Tuesday. Tuesday's trading day. Let's go here. This was an unfortunate day for me. My power went out this day, actually. And fucking sucked. But keep in mind the same thing that I just showed you there. Look at the same thing here. And exact same approach as what we were talking about. So let's go to the hourly charts. Let's delete this. And let's make this a little closer here. So we are waiting for, we had Powell testifying. Now, what's the first thing that we notice here? We notice that there's an hourly gap between the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. Let's mark off our hourly PD arrays. Just like that. And boom. So first thing that we're going to do, we're going to look and see, is there any SMT inside of this hourly gap? Yes, I see it right here. I see some lower lows on the NASDAQ. I see some higher lows on the S&P, a lower low on the Dow. Now, I'm going to skip to the next hourly candle here. And this is when we get into our New York AM session. So we have the S&P 500 clearing out that resting low here, and we have the NASDAQ now making a higher low resting here. So now our SMT is like this, just like that. This did take a while for us to expand from this specific PD array, but it plays out eventually. So let's watch to see what's going on inside of this hourly gap, if we are able to capitalize and if this hourly gap holds for us to capitalize on a trade on the 5-minute. And we're keeping in mind, we're paying attention to time. And we are watching to see primarily, can 930 come in and give us a manipulation and another set of SMT prior to Powell coming on to testify at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to skip price out to 930, just like that. So if I go to the 5-minute chart on the S&P 500 and the Dow, see what is happening here between these guys. And I'm going to draw a vertical line at 10 o'clock as well. Okay, so as of right now, we created another SMT on the NASDAQ right here. And coincidentally, this was the low of the day right here at 9:30, this second SMT that was set in. Now, the Dow Jones had this higher low resting here. So if I play out price a little bit more and just watch to see what kind of happens here, we had a nice displacement higher here on the Dow, but watch what happens. We get a little bit of a drop here, and then we get some lethargic moving price on Dow. Now we have another round like that. This was pretty much, this was a big headache, I'm not going to lie, watching price. But if you're patient enough to wait for the proper timing, you can actually do damage. Now watch. So we create a short-term low here. We have the second set of SMT set in now with the Dow kind of clearing lows. The S&P 500 is clearing lows as well, like this. But the NASDAQ's still holding that 930 low that didn't get ran compared to the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. If I skip another 5-minute candle, we get another drop. Another drop, clearing, again, all of this, while still staying and respecting that hourly gap. Notice how this low is still intact from 9:30. What does this candle do from 10:05? What does this candle do specifically? It clears a short-term low. Now, unfortunately for me, I had an entry prior when we had this SMT set in, but my stop loss was like legitimately hit at the low of the day. Like I should have had my stop loss at the resting low, but I didn't want it to be like that deep because my execution was like up here. But some days it is what it is. But the bias and the narrative as to how I was framing price to draw to these highs from London was correct. Now, I would have caught the re-entry, but I was kind of scattering back and forth on the phone with the electrical company, finding out what happened. Like someone literally crashed their car into a pole and blew up a transformer, and there was electrical wires that started a fire down the street from my house, unfortunately. But just pay attention as to what's going on here. We sweep a short-term low, create another round of SMT, and then price closes above that down close candle here. What does that do? And what does that create? Creates a bullish order block. That is a potential for an execution. Now, all you need to do is the same thing that we've been doing for months on end. Borderline years now. 1 to 2 risk to rewards there. Wait for price to come back into that POI. Tap you in. Stop loss is at an SMT low, and then you just let the trade ride. And then eventually we hit and take out London highs, just like that. It's a sloppy delivery, but it works because you are in alignment with understanding where the manipulation is in the market, and you have a confirmation and set in stone as to where is a protected low and where is a protected high. You know what I mean? Yeah, the market makers really got us the fuck there. Super unfortunate, but it is what it is sometimes like that. It is what it is sometimes. But do these examples, are they clicking for you guys? Like, are you guys kind of getting an understanding what I'm saying in regards to SMT being created at a key time and waiting for that manipulation to occur inside or at the tag of key levels? Like, your best trades will always have this. They'll always have it. You want to wait for the proper time of day, and you want to see price moving up. If we're in a bullish trend, we're moving up, we're creating bullish PD arrays, and then we are getting into our kill zone. We want to wait for that specific time. If there's a news event at, let's say this is, I'm going to make this a little, this is 10 o'clock. I'm going to make this a little wider. So here's 9:30. Our news driver is at 10 o'clock. So if we are bullish, we want to see price at this 9 o'clock time. If 9:30 wants to provide the manipulation, it needs to drop lower into a key level, primarily a fair value gap. As such, create SMT just like this, or like this, whatever it wants to do and offer. And then we want to get our execution off in some sort of change and save delivery order block or a breaker or an inversion or whatever. And then the driver at 10 o'clock, the high impact news event, will be the continuation that provides the volatility to give us our exit to a liquidity objective point. Does that make sense to you guys? And vice versa, if this was 8:30 news, 8:30 news be the manipulation lower, and then 9:30 is the driver that runs higher. That's pretty much how you should be viewing all of this sort of stuff. There's a lot of questions here. Best time frames for intraday trader. Well, the best for an intraday trader, you should still be utilizing like a higher time frame perspective, like understanding where is the daily at in price delivery. And here, I need to clear all this off and then get out of replay. And then do this. Wow, the Dow just opened up and flew. But you want to understand at a minimum, like a daily chart, where is price gravitating to? And obviously price has been gravitating to on indices to all-time highs, or at least today the objective was this swing high from 22,666. And intraday, what you want to be looking for is hourly or 4-hour fair value gaps to then frame M5 or M15 executions to then capitalize in on the daily expansion. I pray that we get a TJIF tomorrow. I pray. It's either that or we just expand again and we run all-time highs. Like we're just shy. We're just shy off of it. But we're in this daily bearish gap, so I'm not really sure yet. It would be amazing if we get a pullback tomorrow. Into like potentially previous daily low, and then we send it the next week from this daily gap. But I doubt that's going to I doubt that's going to happen. I hope so though. Your model's amazing. Just issues 2R. If you have an issue with 2R, then start minimizing that and just shoot for like, you could even do 1-to-1s or 1-to-1.5s and just drop that a little bit. You're gonna have to start seeking for higher, like a higher win rate, but like 1-to-1s or 1-to-1.5s are really not hard to attain. This is going to be recorded, obviously. It'll be on my YouTube channel. It's posted always right after. What do you do when you are in a trade? For instance, gold, long, same, A+ setups form for different biases. Are you talking about, let's say, so the gold, we took a gold, there was a gold long from here that was framed from this daily bullish for value gap. If you were talking, or if you're talking about and referencing here, we took gold longs inside of this daily gap from a 4-hour perspective on the 23rd from Monday. And it was all back from a daily chart. The longs, or what's it called, the shorts that were derived today were from this daily bearish for value gap here, because we had a daily external run to an internal range liquidity pool that had SMT. So the gold shorts today was A+, because it was also the weaker pair compared to silver, which was the stronger pair. Yeah, just waiting on 2 degrees to finish cooking up in the lab, and then the update for the indicator will be finished. I'm so excited for that. You guys have no idea. I have not been a fan of majors all week, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, not a fan at all. In regards to the update, I mean, I'll say one update. One update will be a customization of the size of order blocks that you guys want to be using. Like, I always say, like, you see how the trade that we took from, let's say, that Monday, from this Monday here, see how this OB is, like, the body of it is so big compared to the wick. There's going to be a customization tab to allow you to pick small body, medium sized, big. So you'll be able to customize whether, like, you want to have the indicator recognize setups of the size order block compared to, like, the wick to the body. That's pretty much what's one thing out of, I believe, like 4 that is happening. So you're going to see a lot more setups, and especially when there's a big manipulation into the market and it's a big sized wick and then we close above it, that's still a scenario where I would take that trade. So it's going to be plotting a lot more. And most likely anticipate that next week. Wait, what? I missed one. Can I have a look at the one out? Hold on, I'm live. 1 hour SMT on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Tuesday, 10 a.m. Okay. So here's 10 a.m. And here is the SMT. Where's the... Okay, so the SMT was here is what you're saying. Right there. Inside of that hourly gap. It would have been much better if it was if the euro ran this low, but it didn't, because it's always better at a swing point. But this is gross. See, I wouldn't be able to capitalize on this. This is just an expansion without any sort of execution. There's really nowhere where you'd be able to get in. AJ? Wait, Thursday? Not Tuesday? Today? Is what you're talking about? Are you talking about today? Yeah, no, I would not count that. I would not count that. You're right, AJ. I would not be able to do anything here. Neither would I be able to execute anything within this. This was just way too fast. Not a single pullback. It was just a directional run to that high. I wasn't able to do anything this week on majors because dollar cleared all of this. Dollar cleared everything without me even giving an opportunity after Monday. Like literally Monday, Tuesday, we gapped down, and then Wednesday couldn't even, like, we traded back roughly into the volume imbalance, but like I would have expected like into like a little bit deeper to fill the gap, potentially this inversion, and then trade lower, but like there was no opportunity. Yeah, if you guys want more of these, I need some likes and some comments, and I'll make them more frequent. Oh shit, it's my boy's fucking birthday. All right. Would you ever? What's your risk management? What's the parameters on FTMO? I've never been able to trade an FTMO account. Is it max 10% drawdown? But I'll always say just keep your risk consistent at 1% per trade. Or if you risk 1% per trade, you go to a 2% buffer, risk 2% to then make 4%. Yeah, like I would get a buffer and then start risking heavy, just so that you can get out of that challenge phase. If the manipulation has occurred prior to news, you can execute, because you expect the news to be the driver to your liquidity pool objective point. I don't trade ranges, so I won't ever post a video on ranging price action. Like, I literally sit on my hands and do nothing. Wait, where was that question? I'm so sorry. Please make a video on how to... Oh, what the fuck? What? I don't hold I have I have videos on my channel from way back on how to perfect swing trading, crypto vortex. But that's all by you having a trade. Like the forever model is framed by how? The forever model is literally this. We have a market maker buy model. Let's say this is the case. Original consolidation is here, relative equal highs. We have the distribution, redistribution, price runs down lower, sweeping out a key level like that. Then what are we anticipating next? We want to see some sort of change in state of delivery occur after that. Our change in state of delivery is that down close candle that clears short-term lows. We close above it. That's your CSD. Once we close above that and we get back in here, this right here is your low risk buy. This is the low risk buy here. This can be held if you do a stop loss like this at the smart money reversal low. You can hold this trade to the external original consolidation high like that, and then catch multiple positions in the accumulation and then the reaccumulation stage of the market maker buy model. There's always going to be the smart money reversal. There's always going to be the lower spot, which would be here. This is going to be a first stage of accumulation. Then there would be a second stage of accumulation. So technically 3 areas in price before we complete the market maker buy model for you to get in. Or you swing trade it and you hold it for the runners to go to the external target. That's basically the best scenario for you guys. But tomorrow I have a YouTube video out. I am not going to talk about that. Just focus on the 2 stages of SMT that I focus on and I talk about a lot that align with time in the YouTube video that I'm posting tomorrow. That will help you guys tremendously. I avoid trading FOMC days. I'm going to never trade another day again of Powell speaking, a Fed meeting, or no news days. Keep your risk low. Monday, Fridays go half risk, full risk. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But anyways, this was fun, and thank you guys for joining and hopping on and answering some questions with me. I miss doing these. I'll definitely do them more often, especially when I want to know how to provide value in a certain way that will be beneficial rather than it being redundant. If there's a trade that looks very, very nice that you guys are confused about, I can definitely post about it more. I'll post about it more in depth, but also walk you guys through it in this sort of way. I think that you guys learning from this and seeing it visually, hands-on, and me walking through prices is what I do with my Discord every single day, Monday through Friday, and walk price down, top down, to understand like the analysis to the execution. That's like the best way for you guys to learn. That's how I wish I had it when I was in the beginning stages, rather than kind of just freeballing it, learning from just random people and not really having this proper guidance. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your trading week. Be safe. Don't do anything crazy tomorrow. Nothing stupid. And then next week is the last week of the month for June. I believe is next week NFP. Next week is NFP. Monday is the last day of June, and then NFP is on Friday. July 4th is next weekend. That's interesting. But, anyways, pay attention. Have notifications on for the YouTube video tomorrow. It'll be posted tomorrow at 10:45. I'll have it updated on my Instagram story and Discord and Twitter, all that sort of stuff. But be safe, guys. Have a great rest of your day. And I will see you again for another YouTube Live in the future and the live chat. Deuces, everyone.